She was content being a side chick to her ex-husband. The divorce ended the marriage, not the desire. When love found its way back, she welcomed it without guilt. It was a quiet Sunday evening. Annette sat in the living room, braiding her daughter's hair for school the next day. The television murmured softly in the background. Then the banging came. Not polite, not hesitant, violent. The metal gate rattled as if someone meant to tear it from its hinges. Her two dogs erupted into frantic barking. Her daughter lifted her head. "Mommy," she said softly, "someone is at the gate." Annette did not flinch. Her fingers remained steady, weaving the final strands of the plait. The banging came again, louder, angrier, filling the house with unease. She finished the braid and stood, calm and deliberate. Handing her daughter the comb, she smiled. "Go tie your hair, brush your teeth, and get ready for bed," she said gently. "It's an early start in the morning." As Annette stepped off the veranda, the dogs rushed to her side, hackles raised. She rested a hand on each of their heads, steady and commanding. "Back of the house," she ordered. Their tails wagged as they obeyed, disappearing into the darkness. She had not yet reached the gate when Donna erupted, blazing like wildfire driven by high wind. "You shameless woman," Donna screamed. "You are sleeping with my husband." Annette stopped. This was the same woman Kevin had cheated on her with while they were married. The irony was suffocating. Annette studied Donna slowly, from the shadow clinging to her frame to the tremor betraying her fury. "Yes," Annette said calmly, "and lower your voice. My children are inside getting ready for bed." Donna froze. She had come armed for denial, for lies, for excuses, not the truth. "You are not even sorry," Donna whispered, disbelief fracturing her voice. Annette's lips curved into a faint smile. "Why should I be?" Donna's hand flew up. The slap sliced through the air and struck metal instead, missing Annette behind the gate. Annette stepped back, her calm cracking into sharp steel. "What do you think you're doing?" she snapped. "You come here looking for a fight?" "Yes," Donna shouted, "for what is rightfully mine." Annette laughed, low and mocking. "Rightfully yours," she echoed. "That's rich." "I'm Kevin's wife," Donna screamed, her voice raw. Annette tilted her head, eyes cold. "You are his paperwork," she said. "And if you know what's good for you, you will leave my gate before I let my dogs remind you where you stand." Donna's fury shifted into something darker. Her face softened into a slow, devilish smile. "Okay," she said, nodding. "Stay behind that gate." She turned and walked away, the promise in her voice more dangerous than the shouting that brought her there. Annette had once believed loyalty was permanent. She built a life with Kevin from nothing. She bore his children. She forgave his first betrayal because he cried, the second because he begged, the third because Donna wore innocence like perfume. "I did not know he was married," Donna had said. Her eyes never apologized. The divorce was clean, the pain was not. When Donna married Kevin a year later, dressed in white and smiling as if victory was sacred, something inside Annette hardened beyond repair. Back then, when Annette called her a homebreaker, Donna had laughed. She said that if the coop was clean and the chicken was well fed and satisfied, it would not stray. Annette remembered those words now, remembered them clearly, because the chicken always came home to roost. Months later, Kevin returned under the excuse of seeing the children. Rain soaked his shirt. Regret weighed heavily on his face. Annette let him in. "I think about you every day," he said. Those words rekindled a flame of love and longing in her heart. She wanted to pull him into her arms, but fear pinned her hands at her sides. She said nothing. She let the silence stretch, afraid that if she spoke, her words would reveal the fire burning inside her for him. She offered him dinner, and he sat at the table with his daughters. He savored every bite. Each mouthful reminded him of what he had lost, of what he had traded away. Silently, he thought that Annette's cooking was still the best. That night, after the children were asleep, he lingered. Words softened, smiles stretched longer than necessary. Eventually, he found his way back into the comfort he had once taken for granted. It felt like indulgence, familiar, warm, and dangerously satisfying. He left late. He returned sooner than he planned. Before long, he was coming back again and again. He began staying longer, 2 days at a time, sometimes more. He cooked. He read bedtime stories to the children. He lingered in the quiet moments that once belonged to memory. He confessed truths he had never dared speak before, that marrying Donna was a mistake, that he felt trapped, that Annette was home. Annette noticed what he did not say. He did not promise to leave. He did not say he would fix anything. His regret was heavy but passive, like a weight placed carefully at her feet for her to carry. Kevin had always been good at confessing feelings. Decisions were another matter. Annette hoped he had changed, as he insisted, and that his actions would prove it. But Donna knew he had changed. The proof was already in her hands, and it was driving her mad. She came back to Annette's house one evening, fury leading the way. Kevin was there. His car sat unmistakably outside the gate. Annette stood on the veranda as Donna unraveled. Words poured from her like poison, swearing, insults, accusations sharp enough to cut skin. The dogs barked wildly, their noise colliding with the exchange of curses between the two women. Donna screamed until her voice broke. She struck Kevin's car, fists and rage leaving dents behind. Neighbors watched from behind curtains, whispering, judging. Annette went inside in a huff. Donna stormed off. The street fell silent. But the tension did not leave. It thickened. Days later, the call came at dawn. Annette answered, her voice heavy with sleep. It was Donna. Threats spilled through the line, promises soaked in venom. Annette sucked her teeth, recognized the voice, and ended the call without a word. The morning light crept in, and nothing felt finished. Donna began to stalk her. Annette noticed the lingering car, the sudden appearances, the way Donna always seemed to know where she had been. But Annette was unbothered. She was enjoying being in a romantic relationship with her ex-husband far too much to care. Kevin was fully in her grip now, exactly where Annette had wanted him all along. He shared everything with her. Confessions he had refused to give while they were married spilled freely now. His regrets, his resentment, his fear of Donna, his longing for the life he claimed he had destroyed. He spent days at Annette's house, moving through it as if he had never left. He took care of her. He took care of their two daughters. He played the role of father and partner with renewed devotion. Even the dogs seemed glad to have him back. Annette felt no remorse. What she felt instead was control, and with sudden clarity, she understood how dangerous that pleasure could become. She enjoyed every moment. Her sister called the relationship forbidden. Annette called it balance restored. Payback felt justified after years of humiliation and forgiveness wasted. Kevin could not keep his eyes off her. His attention fed her, healed something old and wounded. Soon she was pregnant again, this time with a son. When she told Kevin, he knelt before her, reverent and unsteady, like a man finally surrendering. "I never stopped loving you," he said, his voice breaking. "I know I hurt you. I know I ruined what we had, and I have lived with that every day." His hand trembled as he placed it on her stomach. "Please believe me. This is where I belong. I cannot lose you again. I need to be here with you, with our children." Annette said nothing. She cradled his head and stroked it slowly. The reassurance settled deep inside her. Not long after, Kevin stopped going home to Donna. Donna did not accept the loss quietly. She became a nuisance, bombarding Annette with calls at odd hours. Unable to block the withheld number, Annette ignored the calls each time they came through. Donna moved on to voicemails, long ones, rambling ones, sometimes sobbing, sometimes laughing, sometimes whispering threats that lingered long after the message ended. Annette listened a few times. After that, she stopped. She deleted them the moment they appeared. Kevin said Donna was losing her mind. Annette said nothing. She rested a hand on her swollen belly and let him talk. Donna showed up at the children's school one afternoon. She stood across the street, watching as Annette gathered her daughters. Annette met her stare without blinking. This time, Donna did not scream. She stood still, eerily calm, fingers curled tightly around her phone. "You think you won," Donna said quietly, "but you only borrowed him." Annette smiled, slow and deliberate, but she didn't say anything, holding her daughter's hand as she walked towards her car. Donna's composure cracked. Her eyes filled with something feral. "There are things children notice before adults do," Donna whispered. "You should remember that." Her eyes narrowed. "And you will regret this." Annette did not react. She kept her face calm, but her thoughts flew to her children. That was where the threat had landed. She understood then that Donna had crossed from rage into intention. With her daughters safely buckled in, Annette drove away. The following afternoon, Annette returned from the school run just in time to see Donna stepping away from her gate. Donna smirked, got into her car, started the engine, and drove off. Later, in the yard, Annette pushed her younger daughter on the swing. Without warning, one side of the rope snapped. Annette lunged forward, catching her daughter before she could hit the ground. When Annette looked closer, her breath caught. The rope had been cleanly cut. Annette's mind flashed back to the dogs at the gate, sniffing and licking the ground, as if something irresistible had been thrown there for them. The glint of metal in Donna's hand, the devilish smile she had worn as she drove away. The coincidences were too precise to be random, too clear to ignore. That night, Annette checked the locks twice, and for the first time since Kevin came back, she wondered how far Donna was willing to go. Dear viewers of Words, Sound, and Story, as we pause here, a question lingers in the shadows. What will Donna do next? While we await the next episode, we invite you to weigh in. Was Annette wrong for taking Kevin back? Comment yes or no. The story is far from over. Share your thoughts in the comments and join us when the story continues. Tell us where you are watching from and subscribe to Word, Sound, and Story, where Troy McKenzie transforms real-life experiences into meaningful, dramatic, and engaging tales.